I've got a bit of a silly question for you, Roula.
Okay.
This came up in conversation with somebody. In fact, it was a question her husband had. And I think he was joking around. But
I love it when you bring questions from husbands.
Yeah. I think he was joking around, but he said it, and I thought that's a really good question.
Welcome to the Rosie and Roula show. Marhaba.
G'day. Now, Roula, do not answer this in a boring way, okay? Just saying that. We're having fun with this question. Do not come at me with biology, okay? So the question is, why do men have nipples?
Oh, goodness. I know exactly why they have nipples, but then this is biology.
Exactly. So, okay, fine. Give us the boring answer, and then we'll get into it.
Because it happened. I'm listening to a book. Excuse me. Raising Boys. I think in another episode I mentioned it. And they explain exactly why boys have nipples. Because when the embryo is created, all embryos are girls.
That's why girls are better.
And then they develop into a boy or a girl. So this is why they have nipples, but they did not develop breasts. That's the end of the episode. Here we go. Please tell the husband of your... So I wonder, why is he asking this question?
I don't know. Do we want to know?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know. But...
So what was the take of your girlfriend when...
Well, she didn't...
What did she think?
She just thought it was a funny question. She didn't provide an answer. But I went away and thought, I need to ask Roula this question. But even if you come at it from a biological point of view, wouldn't you think evolution would have intervened here? Because what purpose do nipples serve on men? They are not breastfeeding children.
Sometimes they have piercings.
But does that help people live longer? Like from an evolutionary perspective, survival of the fittest, do men with nipples live longer than those without?
There aren't men without, so we cannot prove anything.
So why are nipples still a thing?
Evolution didn't change. Evolution of a human, of the embryo of the human. We still need sperm and.
You're being so boring right now.
What's the other word?
Egg.
Oh my God, I forgot.
You need to go back to science class.
Okay. This question is, I cannot turn around it and give you a non-biology answer.
You're boring.
And I'm not a biologist, so I can't go into that. And I can't make it funny because they have nipples because this is how the embryo is created. But they need to have piercing. But do you know?
Yeah, go on.
Do you think if someone suck on their nipples, do they have like
pleasure.
Women, they get pleasure?
Probably. I've never asked. You can ask your husband.
No, some questions and conversations
are not better
left. Yes.
Yeah. I would think the answer is yes, but is that helping from a survival point of view? I don't know. So why on earth are nipples? Why do embryos have nipples so early? Okay, you're saying they're both female before the sex is determined or whatever. I'm using the wrong language. But typically women will not have a penis or be born with one.
No, because the embryo has already the vulva, and then this vulva develops into testicles and penis.
Does it? I didn't know that. Oh my God. So all men have vaginas. Fucking love it.
As an embryo, yes. And I'm not an expert. I'm just recalling what I have read in the book because it was explaining in very details the biology of becoming a boy.
What was this book called? Raising Boys.
Raising Boys.
Right. Well, you didn't give me the answer I wanted, but this was fascinating. The vulva turns into a penis and testicles. So
I wonder what the experts will call in and tell us. And
oh
I would be
yes,
glad to have a good
yes,
information.
yes, that would be so fun. Oh. And you know what? All things in science really are theories, and theories are made to be tested. I'm not saying the information we've got is wrong, but asking a question like this is not a bad thing. We got to test the theories.
But why he asked and he didn't go looking it up on Google?
I don't think it was a
ChatGPT or
serious. I
somewhere?
don't think it was a serious question. He was being funny. Maybe it was a serious question, but he was saying it as a joke, so he didn't get embarrassed. Yeah.
Here's the essence of this episode.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend needs to know why he asked this question, because then the fun will begin.
Okay, why do you think he asked? Should we speculate? Let's speculate. Why do you think he asked the question?
Because he's an idiot.
He's an
I
idiot?
don't know.
That's a bit mean. Okay, that's potential, yes.
Because he wants to know how it feels, and he wants something from her to do.
Okay.
Pinch him, suck on them.
So he maybe wants to explore his sexuality a bit more with nipples and just...
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe he doesn't like having nipples.
I really am much more intrigued by why he asked the question than the question itself.
Okay, well, I'm not sure we're going to get that answer, but yeah,
No.
There we go.
Why not? Ask your friend and let her speak into our messages.
Okay. Well, she's tried sending in messages, Roula, and it's not working for her.
Oh.
I don't know why. It's working for
But you
other
know,
people.
Rosie, how does she feel knowing that you brought this question on the podcast?
I haven't asked her yet.
But probably this is the end of your friendship.
Yeah. Whoopsies. She's a fairly new friend
She
too.
didn't
so
mean that much
crash
to
and
me
burn.
anyway.
No. All right, well, you're a know-it-all, Roula. You're a know-it-all.
Don't tell me this.
Why? It's
No,
true.
I'm not. Oh,
You're not.
It happened that I'm reading a book that mentioned this. That's all.
But you weren't able to think outside of that, which is interesting. You became very close-minded when I asked this question. It's just like, this is the
Yeah.
way it is.
See, sometimes not knowing makes you creative. And my
totally.
creativity was killed by the fact that I knew. why.
Right. But science, what we believe and what we think is fact, it changes over time. So what if in an alternative universe, or perhaps in this one, that we find out that is incorrect?
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about? That embryos are all female, and that is why they all have nipples and vulvas and all the things. What if
No,
that...
these are fact and studied, etc. This is not something that
So are
it
you
can
saying
be.
everything in science has never been disproven?
I'm not saying everything in science. I'm saying this is something that can be checked very well.
Okay.
Like you can have an embryo in your hands and check this.
Hands? Oh my God. You monster.
No, if you want to fact check science, you have to have an embryo in your hand. Just like people when they dissect dead bodies. They're not monsters, not people. I mean, like, CSI and to know the cause of death and all of
cadavers
the
or
stuff.
whatever they are. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
This is going in a very weird direction. Let's just wrap
Very
it up.
weird.
This is weird.
Bye, Rosie.
Bye. Don't want to talk to you anymore. Bye. Bye.
Guys, if you don't want to call in for this question, we also understand. So thank you so much. Bye.
If you got a kick out of our conversation today, can you pretty please hit the follow button and share it with another opinionated person? This is the easiest way for you to support the show. It also gives Roula and I the motivation
Rosie,
to keep
I have
going.
to stop you there. Stop telling people what to do. If they like to follow the show and share it, it's totally up to them. Guys, please, can you help us follow and share the show? Thank you so much. See you next time.
Said.